with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Haley Potter. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of the Erie News NOWCAST. Girard High School has been closed because of clusters of COVID-19 cases. The school will be closed tomorrow through October 1st by order of the Erie County Health Department. The school district says students will continue to have classes online and should log on to their first block class tomorrow at 8 a.m. This is the second area school to close because of an increase in COVID-19 cases. Mill Creek's Chestnut Hill Elementary School is closed all week. And as COVID-19 surges in our area, hospitals are filling up, but more and more people are starting the vaccination process. According to the latest state data, most of the ICU beds across our region and across our state are in use. You can see some of that data on your screen right now. Crawford only has about 5.5% of ICU beds available, and Erie only has 11% of their beds available. Meantime, more and more people are starting the vaccine process compared to yesterday. The latest CDC data shows an increase in partial vaccinations across Erie, Crawford, and Warren counties. You can always find the latest COVID-19 facts and figures on our website, erienewsnow.com. Meantime, today, Johnson & Johnson has announced the results of a study looking at the performance of its single-dose vaccine and a booster shot. The drug company says data shows its vaccine is 79% effective against COVID-19 related infections and 81% effective against COVID-related hospitalizations. Those numbers did not fall off when the Delta variant became dominant here in the U.S. Johnson & Johnson also says their data shows a booster shot at 6 months or later produces an even better numbers, showing protection rates jumping to 94%. The company says it'll report its findings to the FDA and other public health regulators as the debate over the need for booster shots continue. He started out as a YouTube star and has millions of followers online, but tonight he's taking over the stage at Erie Insurance Arena. His name is Blippi. This evening's show is expected to bring in hundreds of kids, and it's happening right now. Many of those kids are unvaccinated. Our Kara Coleman looked into how the production is looking to keep those kids safe.
Well, from teaching kids about garbage trucks to taking them virtually to zoos and playgrounds, for parents of young kids, Blippi is certainly a household name. Those YouTube videos have millions of views, and he even has his own line of toys. And tonight, Blippi is going to be taking over the Erie Insurance Arena with that live musical. We reached out to Blippi's production team. They say the tour actually launched in early 2020 before being put on hold and then relaunched again in July of this year. They put on about 65 performances so far. But of course, it's those indoor events that have been a concern with young kids and, of course, the spread of COVID. And there's likely to be hundreds of young kids at that show tonight. And we also reached out to Erie Insurance Arena. They do not have a mask policy in place. They say they're following local and state guidelines. Now, they do encourage masks, especially for the unvaccinated, and that, of course, includes all kids under the age of 12, which will make up most of tonight's audience. Health experts say for families, it's really just about weighing the risks personally for you and your family, and of course, for those kids under the age of 12, health officials do suggest that they wear a mask indoors. Now, Blippi's production team wouldn't say exactly how many tickets they sold for tonight's show. They're saying it's well sold. It's expected to get underway tonight at 6 o'clock. Here at the Erie Insurance Arena, I'm Kara Coleman, Erie News Now.
President Joe Biden gave his first address before the UN General Assembly earlier today. His main message that the U.S. is back as a global leader for global problems, but we, quote, won't go at it alone. The president said the world must act quickly to address festering issues from COVID-19 to climate change, cybersecurity to human rights abuses. Mercyhurst Political Science Chair Dr. Joe Morris said President Biden struck the right tone. His remarks were the polar opposite of President Trump's message at the UN when he said globalism was over and patriotism was in.
You can't help but think that the United States is moving to a new chapter in its history. One where we're not dominated by this war on terror, but rather have our sights set on something bigger, a future that's more than just about defense, it's about building.
Morris said if Americans elected President Biden as the return to normalcy candidate, that was exactly what he saw at the United Nations today. Part of Kakwa Avenue will be closed indefinitely starting on Thursday. The stretch between Superior Avenue and Crescent Drive will be closed indefinitely to traffic, according to the City of Erie. The pavement structure is being removed in preparation for bridge demolition. The city has scheduled the bridge to be demolished on October 11th. The sidewalks will remain open to pedestrians until Monday, September 27th. A temporary four-way stop will be added at the intersection of West 6th and Maryland Avenue. And the closure of the Girard exit on Interstate 90 has been delayed yet another week. PennDOT says the ramps were supposed to close Monday as part of the demolition work of the bridge over Interstate 90, but the agency has pushed back the start date until Monday the 27th. PennDOT says the eastbound ramp will remain open for the time being. Music fans rejoice as the Blues and Jazz Festival returns this weekend in Frontier Park. This year, the event will be back outside where it's been for years. Last year, organizers still hosted this festival, but it was all virtual and televised, and nobody was at the park in person. They hope this outdoor festival will still draw crowds while it will be safe for people to be spread apart. Another challenge organizers ran into this year was finding some of those performers.
Nobody was touring for the longest time. When we finally decided that we could do this, that we had enough support from sponsors and so forth, and that we felt that we could do it safely, then it became a challenge to find musicians who were available.
Now, organizers say there will also be free COVID-19 vaccines available on Saturday and Sunday from 5 to 7 for those who are still looking to get their vaccine. With fall about to begin, we wanted to know how summer attendance at Presque Isle State Park compares to just 1 year ago. You'll remember park attendance surged in 2020 because of COVID-19. With many other attractions being closed, people flocked to Presque Isle's trails and beaches, sending attendance up to about 900,000 visitors. This summer, even though many people are vaccinated and other attractions are back open, Presque Isle State Park has almost matched the 2020 figures.
And people got reintroduced to their parks, whether it was local or state or federal parks. So we had, 4.9 million last year that we dealt with. But at this point, compared to this time last year, we're only about 100,000 less than we were at this point last year. So we're really pretty close on par for similar to where we were, which we're, just trying to play the waiting game and see if this is more of the new norm.
And of course, the Sunset Concert Series and Discover Presque Isle resumed in 2021, and the park marked its 100th anniversary. Thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Join us for our next news at 10 p.m. on the CW and 11 p.m. on WICU and WSEE. Have a great night.